I actually have been explaining to you guys a lot and remind you guys a lot already about what we actually have to you guys have to work at this stage already. Okay, if you have to set one of the new mindset, okay, on your learning experience is you're not actually going to work only just to pass or just to get through with the evaluation process or pass to the subject itself. Okay? One of the most thing that you need to consider, that's why I'm going to record this one directly, is all about your development skills there. What basically you have developed, okay, along the way. And and of course, I'm not asking you guys, I'm not actually looking for the only what we call that, the only person that can actually develop the right kind of skills or understanding, okay, in order to work with this kind of illustrations there. But what are the most important thing that you have to understand there, right, is where you want to go from here, right? Okay, where you can go from here. Okay, do you actually have improved based on your drawing skills, right? Drawing skills there, right? Have you guys improved a lot from there, or have you guys have done any kind of improvement from there? Okay, so I have one of the notes that I want to give you guys on our Google Classroom. Okay, but the last page, right? You guys can actually ignore that, right? Okay, because this note basically is from the previous one of my clip, okay, because I find this note also quite helpful. But if you like to read a lot, that's why, because I don't like to give a lot of notes there, right? Because sometimes people doesn't like to read there. But for me, this is basically one of the guideline that maybe you guys can actually use if you have a free time later on. You guys can read them out there, okay? So I'm going to share with you guys. Sorry. Where is it? Okay, now. Right, visual notes of for intro to illustrations there, okay? Because this basic understanding is really important there, right? Because I really want to see the students, okay, basically my students lah, right? Okay? Because I've been actually nurturing with you guys for the first semesters there, right? So that means I have I'm going to have the eye on you there, on you guys there. I want to make sure that at least you guys can draw in the right way, right? Remember that you can draw in the right way. I'm not looking for those who actually can draw well only there, okay? Because the person who actually can draw, right, who have that kind of skills, I don't have any kind of worry or problem with it, because they know some of the students, they know how to work with their own styles there. But what I want to have more concern there, right, okay, for those who really cannot draw well there, okay, so you came from a zero knowledge of understanding there. So you came here, you learn from me and from us there, okay, and you hope that you can actually improve your skills, not only your drawing skills but your design skills. Remember, right, okay, you guys were trained to become a designer there. So that means you must have some sort of concern or responsibility to yourself that you want to develop your design skills. Those are the reason why you're here, not only to use application or software only there, okay? So take a look at this notes there, okay? Because I don't want to explain a lot, because I always explain during my demonstrations there, all right? but human proportions there, how many heads involved there, okay? All this kind of thing you must uh, you need to take a look first and develop from time to time. But for me, one of the most important thing for all of these notes of those information writing is all about how you develop your first strokes when you draw. How actually you can control your line, the strokes, your pressure line and strokes there, okay, when it comes to drawing or when it comes to design things there, okay? Because we basically, even though in digital situations, what basically we have missed. This is what I've thought already. Even though there is a pro and cons between these semesters kind of methods of working, but what basically you guys have missed is one of it is a face-to-face direct approach. How actually we train people to see things in the right way, right? But if you take a look here, there right now, okay, so our eyes, brows, eyes, nose, okay, this is one of the alignment measurement between the positions there. Can you see there, okay? If you take a look here, there, okay, um, what makes the alignment between the nose, the center point, the eyes, the measurement between the nose and the first kind of points of the eyes there, all this kind of concern, all this kind of understanding you have to develop and learn from what you have seen right now from time to time, right? So I actually planning to do a little bit more kind of tutorials there or demonstrations there, okay? For the weekly exercise there, right? Even though we have back to back with the assignments there, because for me, you guys need to be prepared for next semester's kind of module or lessons there in terms of digital illustrations. Even though you have worked with the digital tools and Photoshop for this semesters, it doesn't mean that everyone know what they are doing, okay? Maybe a few of you guys have been practice or you have been developed, okay, to use this Photoshop to paint in the right way, right? Okay, to paint in the right way. But most of you guys, I believe, still need a lot of training, a lot of exercise, a lot of practice there, right? It's not all about I don't like illustrations, I only like certain kind of subjects. Okay, you have to force yourself to learn to illustrate well. You have to. You don't have any other choice there, because from these core subject illustrations, they will lead your knowledge into video meetings in the futures. All right. In the photography is basically the right way because we use a lot of compositions there, right? And also storyboard making for animations, right? Other than design, typographies, motion graphics there, right? Okay. But remember one thing, right? Okay? Why multimedia students need to learn drawing, illustrations, because this is a core subject that actually develop your design sense. Not because you want to become illustrators only there, okay? Develop your design sense from here. All right, those are the things why you should learn about illustrations there. The basics understanding there, the fundamental understanding about design. Any design students need to understand all these kind of anatomy, structures, motions, even though they cannot draw perfectly there, okay? But the knowledge has to be there. Otherwise, right, you will find yourself a little more kind of loose or out of nothing there, okay? Okay, when we talk about styles of illustrations there, okay, because these notes, okay, will give you guys a bit kind of samples of what kind of style can be approached on the illustrations there. We have the semi-realistic kind of drawings, we have a cartoon, 2D images, flat kind of colors there, simplifications there, ambiguous kind of shapes of styles, okay, by using the same subject matters there, fingers there, right, okay? So all this kind of conceptual styles understanding, you need to develop from time to time, okay? The only person who actually can succeed is the person who actually put their interest in their learning, there, right? If you don't put your interest on your learnings, you won't be able to develop it, right? You won't be able to do well in the design sense, right? Those are the things that are really important right now. Okay, can you see right there the basic structures there? How people start to draw the structures when they come to draw the human being, right? This one we actually have done a lot of demonstrations before. You just need to apply exactly what I've shown first. Not just to trace from what I actually have done, but applied it. Applied mean that okay, you have to find your own way to develop your kind of way of drawings there. What I told you guys before, when it comes to draw any kind of subject matters there, right? Let's just say you want to draw any kind of props there, right? Like, for example, a tree there, a tree, right? When you draw the tree, you can see a lot of people draw tree like this one there, right? You see my screen here? Can you see that, guys?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So a lot of people, okay, I have already tested a lot of students last week, right? When I asked them to draw one simple illustration there, right? They start to draw like this one. This is not basically a good kind of approach when it comes to design. Can you see right how actually I develop a bit more from here? Okay. Different kind of sketches there, right? Okay? See? I'm asking them to draw a simple kind of tree there, right? A coconut tree there. So the way that you actually apply your understanding when you draw that, okay, those are the things that I want to see. Not basically what type of style that you want to draw. Okay? Understand what I mean there, right? Sketch line there, right? When you want to show people that you can visualize things based on your ideas there. There's two different kind of ideas that you can see from here. This is what we call the sketch line that we approach. Sketch styles that, okay, that can be approached by control, the stroke, the pressure as well, right? And strokes when it comes to develop your ideas there. This one basically, in terms of illustrations, it can become a style there. But the problem is, if you draw, you purposely doesn't know how to, basically you doesn't know how to draw or design or to sketch out your ideas, but you purposely draw like this because you doesn't know how to sketch or to develop your ideas there or to develop your skills. That one basically is not acceptable. Because why? Because you're not purposely going to be designed like this, but generally you don't know how to sketch. Can you see the difference there? Two different kind of way of showing your skills. All right? This is not accepted. Why? Because it's not a part of the style that you want to approach there. Let's just say you want to design a style there. You want to draw like that, but purposely you're going to draw something like this there, okay? Because I saw basically some illustrators have done this kind of things here. This is what we call a doodle line error. But before basically you're going to draw like this, for example, there, right? You must be able to do a bit kind of research, lah. What do you mean by research there, okay? You must be able to develop, okay, from the real existing kind of reference there. Even though I want to draw a cat there, okay, based on the same style, I can draw them there, okay, if I want to. Doodle styles there, right? We call it doodle styles there. If I wanted to draw a human being based on the styles, I can. Because in terms of illustrations, yes, we can accept it, this kind of styles there. But the point is right now, are you actually want to draw like that purposely just to show your kind of unique approach of your skills, or basically you don't know how to design or draw? Because when it comes to design, we can accept it, right? But of course, from this kind of stuff, there's a lot of process that you have to show to make sure that you actually use it as a part of your styles, not because you don't know how to draw. You understand what I mean here? That's why you can see some people can draw like this one there. Okay. One of the great illustrators there, okay, they use this kind of styles there, okay, for his work there, okay, when he designed other kind of things also, they can use this kind of styles there to approach. It's very unique kind of styles there. Right? But the problem is one thing. Are you really want to use this style for your works, right? Because in terms of world of illustrations, anything could be possible as long as you know how to present your works in the right way, presented your works in the right way. Okay, so that's why if you have to design the tree, like this, look like a fan or a flower, then right? In terms of illustration world, yes, anything can be possible there. But if you check out how actually I draw there, right, and use a full confidence on my kind of approach there, see? It's like a kid's drawing there, right? But it's not. So, any other trees that I want to draw, for example, there, right? Because all this kind of design, I made my own research first before I'm going to show you guys, or before I can actually develop and present it to you guys there. I've done a lot of research for recent years there. That's why I can accept that this kind of style there, do those kind of style. And when you saw also, when I draw there, right, they show a lot of confidence from there. Okay, so that's why, okay, even though I want to draw, it look like easy there, okay, but it's not there, okay. I want to draw a car, for example, right? But before you're going to draw all these kind of styles, I would suggest for you guys to do some research first there. Okay, do some research first. Don't just simply draw without have a good research there. Even though I want to draw buildings there, right? And they say, okay, a lot of people always thought that, okay, they just draw from imaginations there. All right, if I'm going to ask you guys to draw from your imaginations, draw KL towers there. This is my kind of way of approaching KL tower there, right? Anyone have go to KL tower before? Anyone? No one KLCC, KL tower there. Using line. Okay. KLCC, for example, this is for example there, right? This is only a doodle styles there, but basically we can actually, you need also to understand whether your drawing is basically a final kind of drawings or basically a part of your developments there. It's not actually complete yet. For me, this is only a sketch there, right? A rough sketch there, okay, about my styles there, the styles that I want to approach there. KL Tower and KLCC there, right, for example there. Any kind of buildings that you want to draw more. Right, how about your, all right, um, if you want to draw a temple there, okay, for me, if I want to draw a masjid, for example, there, right, a mosque, for example, there. So if I want to draw a temple, I will make sure that I will find a pictures of the temple first before I'm going to redraw them. Okay. But for me, I can draw masjid because maybe I actually have a very strong kind of approach of visualizations, right, in my mind right now, right? That's why I can draw them, right? For example, like. But for you guys, maybe directly, you want to draw something, always refer to your reference levels, right? Yeah. Buildings there, using doodle kind of lines there. That's what I say, okay? Illustrations will basically is very free form kind of design, kind of development process. But you need to understand why you have to design like that. You have to understand first. Don't just simply copy from other people's works there. That's why I always remind you, don't copy from other people design there, okay? Especially you copy from other people's chibi characters or manga style characters, okay? If you don't understand the basic structure. I have done all this kind of manga, anime, chibi character styles in our tutorials there. You actually have saw basically how actually I did that, right? So if you don't develop your strong kind of core from there, don't just try to be wannabe there. I don't like I never say that I don't like chibi or manga characters because I actually a manga kind of fans there, right? Or anime fans there. But I don't like what I actually doesn't like people who actually pretend, just want to pretend to be like, okay, I want to draw manga styles, I want to draw manga characters there. But the quality that they show is totally out of the proportions. Okay? Out of the proportions there. So yeah, understanding from there. Right? They just thought, yes, I want to draw manga styles, okay? But it's not that right. Proportion not right, the structures is not right, and some more, they are lazy enough there, right? They just show me one drawing and they thought that I don't like their drawings there. I show you guys more than 7 drawings every week. If you check a look right now, how many drawings did I actually produce there while I'm talking to you guys? Right. Even though it's not manga styles, but I'm using different kind of styles there to show you guys to open up your mind, that hopefully you guys can develop on your own there. But of course, all development process, all styles or development style that you want to approach must have evidence. Evidence. Evidence means samples, research there. Okay? Don't give me such what we call that samples which have only 1 or 2 reference there. Right. If I can actually show you guys, I have more reference than you guys here. If I want to draw a robot, for example, right, this robot, okay, before I did design this kind of robots, I actually approached with a lot of reference there because I cache also those references there before basically I'm going to design on my own there, right? Okay, that's what I always do. Any questions? How to approach your work here? And don't delay your exercise. Okay? Okay, let's just say we talk about anything about those prop there, okay? The element on prop there, okay? That you don't understand. We need to draw at least 10 there, right? How to finalize them, how to work with it. But of course, what are the things that I want to see from you guys later on is all about how you draw them in the right way. Because I really want to emphasize your core kind of fundamentals kind of skills there first. For this semester, I believe other subject you have done a lot of painting kind of style, traditional painting, they're right. My subjects, illustration subjects, what I actually have noticed, right, it's not all about the how to paint in the right way, but how to draw in the right way first. Because in the futures, okay, what I actually believe there, okay, if the student doesn't know or doesn't actually write, this is one of the digital illustration last semester. If the student doesn't know how to develop their right skills, okay, when I actually show them to draw like, okay, we are going to do this kind of exercise, okay, later on. This one there, right? This is one of the exercise that we did for last semester there. All right. Even though you actually have experienced this one, right? But some of you guys still will need a lot of improvement here. See how actually I approach to draw those hairline and strokes with the soft line of shades there, right? If you don't practice your drawing skills, then next semesters, if we done this exercise, and also some of the assignments that I actually have. This is one of the assignments that we did there. This is one of the assignments that I did using those coloring, tagging styles there. You guys will not be able to develop the right kind of understanding. This is one of the paint styles. This is not the pictures they reference. One of the students kind of approach, so most of these are videos. If you take a look at my YouTube channel, okay, I did actually give a demonstrations on this, how actually I paint this one there. Okay? So you guys can look at it, right, to learn in advance there. So that means you can prepare yourself more, right? To approach that. All right, guys? Let me see that. I don't know whether I actually approve right here or not. The classworks. So most of them actually have taken those works there. Hmm. So we did also have illustrations. This is some of my demonstrations there to draw using a digital caricatures there, right? Okay. Reference. Okay, all of it is based on the reference there. But if you check it right, how I actually approach those drawings there, digital caricatures, right? You have the samples, you're using Liquify, we compose them back with the background itself there. Right? And those are the things I've done there. Okay? This is one of the next list, this kind of approach on those illustrations works. Okay, this is also one of my demonstrations there, using the caricatures there, okay, in paint, right? Okay, based on the human face, okay, and compose them back in what we call that using the existing kind of reference there, okay. This is one of the reference there. We redraw back again, we paint and redraw back again, all right? So if you don't actually practice your kind of understanding or developing the right kind of skills there, especially the basic fundamentals, okay, when you approach the coloring techniques, they will be hard for you later on, right? Because drawing skills are the most important things that you have to develop first before you paint it up, before you paint, all right? This is one of my samples there. This is also from my sample of reference there, their demonstration from one of the students' works, right? What else there? The week demo, okay, this is week 5 demos, right? Some of the demonstrations there, right? Drawing the line and approach. Because the technique that I show you guys, this is one of the sketch styles, line techniques there. The technique that I showed there, okay, that I actually approach for you, for the students, is not only for those who can draw well, right? Compositions there. If you think that you don't have the right kind of skills, you still can develop the methods or techniques, right? Because these styles is not for those who can draw well only. People who cannot draw also can learn that, right? By draw on top of it, but you have to practice your approach on your stroke drawing stroke practice and develop this understanding from time to time. Okay? All right. But of course, for these lessons, okay, let's we go back right. Okay? If you want to draw any kind of subject matter there, for me, if you want to draw a robot, right? Okay, you must be able to understand first the basic structures that will define your design. Basic structures there. Chris, right? Basic structures there. Even though you want to design Right, three-quarter view there, right? Okay, remember what we have lesson, we actually have drawn the lessons before there. Everything came on the basic shape there, structures there. Right? Basic straight and structures there. From here, you can draw anything you want. You want to draw base from, right, let's just say like Gundam kind of styles the approach, right? For example, right? Okay? But you have to understand, right? That Gundam came from where? Samurai, right? But of course, from this stage, if you take a look right now, how actually I designed them, I'm drawing a very rough sketch there. Look like a cyber cop there, right? See? See the way I sketched it, right? This is what we call the rough sketch. And then this is the body part there, right? But right now, if you take a look there, right, I didn't actually copy from Gundam there, right? I didn't actually trace from Gundam there. I'm using basically my kind of understanding there, what I've experienced before. I draw my own styles of Gundam there, right? That's what I said, okay? Knowledge and understanding is really important. And how basically you start to develop your sketch line. Okay? Also really important. So. Right? That's what I say. I'm actually right a hardcore anime fan, but I didn't actually show people, right? Because I actually live with it. Right? I'm also a young kid that actually always imagine, always use and fantasize, imagine a lot already in my free times. Check in there, guys. You can see the whole structures before I can finalize that. Right, based on these basic structures there, I develop more kind of understanding from there. Right, we don't have to be naive to follow exactly, but I can actually draw also from the simple approach if I want to. Right, I can draw from the simple approach there, from this design. Everything break into shapes there. That's why when people say to me, okay, my design doesn't have shapes, when I read those messages, I laugh first, okay? Because they don't actually understand what they actually have been working on there. Hey, you guys still with me there, right? Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you show your face there? Why don't you guys don't show your face there, right? Ah, you see there, right? You see here. Ah, different design there, right? Different design from there. We're starting a very simple shapes, but we can actually approach with different kind of looks and feel. That's why if you talk about creativities, yes, here. From those basic shapes, you can develop your creativity further. This is not a math that we can say 1 plus 1 is 2. In design itself, the maths, the calculations are going to be different there. It's quite subjective there, okay? 1 plus 1 can become 10 maybe. Because why? Because we use our imaginations there. But the logic things that we actually approach, it were basically to guide us to develop the understanding that is right to work with it. okay, from this one there, okay, the shape itself there, that define this kind of structures there. If I want to design a few different kind of approach for this, because when I actually draw them, right, I'm using the basic structures to develop the we call that the foundations. And I'm using human anatomies right now when I draw the basic structures there, right? For the shields, for the torso or body parts, right? It came from human anatomies. That's why learning human anatomies also is really important there, to understand that. For you guys, basically, okay, for multimedia subject and courses, you have to get a lot of information, okay, to get all information, a lot of things. That's why, for me, even one semester is not enough there. But it's a good thing we can actually apply all these kind of methods in different kind of semesters. There, right? There's 2 semesters that involve this kind of what we call that. This kind of what we call that learning experience there. Can you see that, right? 3 different design based on the basic structures there. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm actually right, a 45-year-old kid who actually love animations very much. Even though I'm not actually watch animation nowadays for my own pleasures, they're right. I'm only watch for my studies and reference there only there. So that's why I didn't actually follow much there, okay, but I keep track with some of the things that I can actually do my research, all right, from time to time there. I'm not actually enjoying watch all the series all the time there, okay, because I don't have time for that. But the skills, the understandings, the approach, the passion is always there, right? Sketch in the right way there, please. When you have designed the right way, kind of way to approach, okay, your works, the next stage that you can do to present your works, right? Then you can learn and you can show how to develop your line. Okay? Clean up your line, right? See? The way basically I develop, right? This kind of approach. And of course, okay, you have to be patient and also be realize one thing. Everything came with time there. Some people have you saw some of your friends who actually can did more better than you, not because they have talents there, but they actually have sacrificed maybe their times before this. Okay, to approach or to design something and to be passionate from what they have. They actually have sacrificed, okay, for their entire life there. We don't know that, okay, what are the struggles they have been going through there before. Okay, but for me, okay, to design a robot is quite complex. So you need to understand the whole 3-dimensional kind of looks, right, of your characters there. Even though I have designed this knowledge like that, right, I can actually change according to my needs there. See, the legs will become more flexible slightly because they can fly there, right? It's very complex there, okay, for me, okay. That's why you have to be careful with it. But it's a good kind of approach. It's all about how actually you can develop your understanding along the way, right? Your understanding along the way. It takes time, so you have to be patient with it. So what basically I can suggest, okay, draw the hands there, right? Even though we have a very basic kind of learning experience on the drawing hands, it's okay. You can draw back again. Can you see that, okay? How actually I approach them, right? And if you want to put some colors later on, go ahead. Right, I did show you guys also before this how to paint it, right? But it's not that quite kind of details there, right? As long as you know where the directions of shadows are light and shadows are going to be fall off, right? You can use two different layers there if you want to. For example, there, right, the layers of shadows are going to be look like this one. For example, there, this is the layers of shadows there, right? Layers of shadows there. How actually you learn all these kind of things. Okay, we actually have done those exercise before, but the thing is right now, watch more cartoons there. How people approach them, those shadows lines. So this is some of the roughly kind of indications, right? How to add something. This is basically a shadows there. Shadows, kind of shapes there, right? That form from those designs. Okay, yeah. Two layers there. Okay, shadows and base colors. Right. Any question there, guys? Any questions? Right. Can you see there, okay, the different things there? But what basically I've shown you guys right now, or entirely from the previous one, right? Okay, you saw about how to develop your creativities there. That's why don't rely too much on your imaginations at this stage. What I mean by that, right? Okay, I don't like to see students actually, right, when they present their works, they don't actually show their finding. I'm doing a lot of imaginations kind of work, right? But reference first. Reference has to become first, right? Before you want to design any kind of character. Always show your finding. Because when people draw without their reference, for me, I can assume they trace from other people's works. I am assuming that. I assume that they actually copy from other people's works there. Okay? That's why I didn't actually attend to entertain too much. When people actually just draw from out of nowhere, okay? Because what I show right now is all based on this. Can you see the samples, the reference that I have? That guide me to develop my own kind of robots there. But I also this is where creativity and imagination will come from, right? Okay? Floating kind of design, the legs going to be floating a bit like this one there, right? So there's more also reference that you can get before I can go into this one there. But I did show you guys one of the steps that I actually approach my works there. How to develop the creativities there. And don't rely on one single design, okay? When I actually design this one there, right? Before I clean up, how many design I actually approach there. That's why I say one characters, at least 7 different design. One character, 7 different design. Same goes to your prop there, okay? You want to design a prop there, okay? A buildings there. Same goes to that. Okay? What styles of building that you want to design, a futuristic kind of buildings there. So what I can do from here, I will go back again my research that if I want to do those environment or props there, okay? Futuristic house there, right? Or buildings there. Everything that you want to do some research, yeah, you can get. This is one of the approach from other people's artist impressions, right? Right. Then you save it as your reference before you're going to redesign that. It doesn't mean you just trace from other people's works there. Right. It doesn't mean that, right? Right? But my kind of way of working, right, for any projects, I will spend a lot of hours to do some research. Research means I look into other people's kind of works and design, and then I'm going to, of course, we draw and draw and draw there. Okay? A lot of thumbnails there. A lot of thumbnails there. Okay, to approach on my work. Okay? Sometimes, okay, I will spend basically to draw a very simple shape there, right? Shapes of building, for example, right? It is a building, right? Using basic shape there, right? Using basic shape like this. Right? Then from here, thus, I will redesign them the right way. For example, the buildings, sketch line, going to do it like this. Everything came from line drawings there, guys. Right. Sketch line. Right, futuristic building, right? One. So everything has been cut into shapes. Okay? Okay? Buildings there, futuristic kind of buildings there. One of the ideas there. Okay? That's how it goes. Right. To synchronize with those design there. Right? Synchronize with those design. Okay? Anything else there? Shirley, did I actually answer your questions right now?
Yes, yes.
Are you
Thank you,
sure?
sir. Yes.
Yeah. Let me see your face that you're sure that, and everyone face that you see whether you guys sure or not, right? Open up your webcam, right? I want to see your sure face. And when's up? How is it? Okay. Hmm. Where's everyone face there? Rongshun, Hang Seng. Where is it? Okay, let me check your cameras there, right? All right. Wong Yun is here. Chang Wong Yun. Chong Chi Ho.
Yeah.
Shin Min.
Sir.
Won
Won
Yong.
Yong, I'm here.
All right. Shin Min is here.
Yes.
Zifeng.
Yes, teacher.
All right. Hang Seng is here, right? Hang Seng is here, not? Even though I know you're here, okay, I want to hear your voice there. Don't be shy there, right? Where is it? Esther is here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ziwei.
Yes, sir.
Yong Ching.
She's here.
Un King.
Yes, sir.
And saying, are you here there, right? I want to hear your voice. Chiao Il.
Yes.
Win Yin. Win Yin. Win Zat.
Yes, sir.
All right. If you guys not actually right, respond to me there, okay? I won't take those attendance. Why? Because sometimes, okay, you just can open it and you do something else there. Taiwan.
Yes,
Taiwan is it?
Yes.
Paujun.
Yes.
Waishin.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Weiren. Yongsan. Yeah, Song Yan, sorry.
Yes.
Texuan.
Yes.
Shirley.
Yes.
Rongchuan.
Yes,
Yes.
sir, I'm here.
All right.
I'm here.
Shinwen.
Yes.
Shinwen. Right. Weiren is the Weiren.
Yeah.
Teacher, I'm William. I'm here.
Weiren, huh?
I'm lagging.
Okay, okay. Wei Yin is a Wei Yin.
When you.
Wei Yin. Here.
Yeah. I'm here.
Okay. How about Hang Seng there, right?
I also in the call.
Here. Can I see your face, Hang Seng there, right? Why you be so shy there, okay? Don't be so shy there, okay? You look handsome there, you do a red shit there, right? Where's your face there? Show your face. Where's everyone face there, right? Okay? Show everyone face here. Hang Seng. Can you hear me there, right? All right, remember that, guys, okay? Our final presentation, okay, even though, okay, next week I'm going to explain a little bit on the final presentation on your children's book illustrations there, right? All right, the approach are going to be the same. You have to create your own videos there, okay? Presentation videos there, okay? Around 5 to 10 minutes there, okay? 5 to 10 minutes, because we have actually an online kind of situation here there, right? So everyone should record, okay, by using Google Meet or Google Zoom there, okay? The Zoom or Google Meet, okay? Record on your presentation that actually explain about your works there, okay? Those are the things there, right? Ensing is quite shy kind of boy there, right? You know? Don't be shy there, right? Okay, guys, any questions so far? Anything that you want to ask me, Darren, about your second assignments? All right, about the storyboard there, right? Okay, storyboard lessons. Please check the videos that I actually record for group 1. All right, how actually we create this kind of thumbnails there, okay? Thumbnail, okay, to create your stories from there. I already explained also how to create the stories, all right, based on a very simple kind of approach, okay, on the development itself, okay. But the thumbnails, okay, this is the right way to draw a thumbnail before you are going to add a bit more kind of details there, all right? Okay.
Sir, do we need to write the dialogue below
All
the
right.
box?
For me, okay, the dialogue is not that compulsory there. What I want to see is the way that you visualize or draw your kind of illustrations there, okay? The dialogue is not that compulsory because sometimes people will focus more on the dialogue rather than those visuals there. You just write a very simple kind of a narration or explanations on your stories only there. But let the pictures will explain to the audience, okay, to the readers about your kind of approach, right? The story, the visual tell the story, not the narration, not the text, okay? The visuals, the picture will tell the stories, okay?
Okay.
Anything else? Anything else, there, guys? And please do actually update, okay, with those videos there that I actually have recorded for you guys. Okay, please overview back again, okay, the videos there, all right? Don't forget to subscribe also this channel because at least you can get to know more on what basically I actually have done there, okay? So from the previous what we call that lettering class until group one there, okay, because group 2, 3, and 4 we actually have a what we call that the public holiday there, right? So that we not didn't record any kind of lesson from there, right? But I really add a bit more and more kind of refreshing kind of understanding from there, okay? Okay, this I think is one or two lessons. Let me show you guys how to draw those 3D characters, okay? Some people doesn't agree that they doesn't want students to work with the CB characters. One of the reason is because they doesn't see any kind of foundation, good structures on that. That's why I want to remind you guys back again. If you want to design the chibi characters, make sure you design the basic structures there, right? That people can see your kind of understanding how to develop your design. Because when you draw from, because chibi characters can get a lot of resources nowadays there, because we just can simply copy from other people's work there. But the point is right now, how actually you develop those kind of understandings, right? They're going to be questionable. Right? They're going to be questionable there. People can question the work okay, from here, right? Okay, so that's why be careful with it. Because I'm also can question you guys that whether those characters, because when you draw from other people's works, the first thing that we can notice there, okay, when you design, for example, a front view, the characters look perfectly done there, okay? But when you change into different point of view, that like side profiles or three-quarter view, right? Okay? Suddenly the characters' alignments and proportions getting a little bit weird there, wrong there, okay? It will show that you don't understand exactly your own design there. That's why we get noticed from there, right? So make sure you develop it well from here. Alright? Okay guys? Reference, research, right? Thumbnails on your storyboard, alright, okay? You see, and also submit them, okay, in weekly kind of progress that forwards. Okay, guys. Anything else?
Sir,
Yeah.
the thumbnail sketch for each for the box totally is 12, is it?
Yes.
And then 12 of them draw in one page, or we can separate it.
All right. This is what we call a narrative kind of visual kind of presentation. This is like a picture book. Okay. From each panels, each page, they consist continuous kind of storyline, right? Okay, that form the whole situations, okay, of the stories there. Okay. So if you want to approach like a comic kind of page, go ahead, okay. But of course, it's depending on your kind of learning, depend on your kind of understanding how it works on that. Okay, but right now, okay, we have 12 page of storytelling there, okay, of visual kind of presentations on that. But I want you guys to add another one page. It's a cover for those illustrations there, cover page for the illustrations there. All right. So that means there will be around 13 kind of pages there, including cover page there. But 12 pages are going to be the story writing. I did explain on these videos how actually we're going to start with the stories and end up the story at the same time there, and how actually I twist the stories there. Okay. So I did explain to these videos guys. So go watch the videos back again and then just try to develop it more from there. But try to create a very simple story to introduce your characters there. And you're going to add some sort of adventures, fighting, whatever they're writing, you can add on those stories there. But try to make it as simple as you can. But when it comes to develop your visuals, those are the things that are really important for us to approach. Okay? Alright?
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. Okay, if you don't have anything, they're okay. So have a good weekend. Thank you very much, okay, for attending the classroom there, okay? And do update, okay, with your lessons. And of course, okay, when I actually have submit, when I actually have evaluate your works, don't take those illustrations works, okay, from the folders there, right? Don't take it back there, okay? Because I'm going to use as part of my graphics that works, okay? So week 10, I think around 1 or 2% actually have sent. When is that actually sent? Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Maybe I wrong folder.
Yeah. Okay. This is for the gesture drawing exercise, right?
Yes. Wrong folder. Is week 9.
Okay. So you send it into week 9 back again, huh?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, Liwa. Anything you want to ask me, Derek?
So you haven't marked my attendance.
You from group 7, huh? Group
Yeah.
7. Normally I take those attendance, right? But as usual, I cannot actually take those attendance before the chimes there. I'm going to add those take those attendance on around 2 o'clock there. Okay. Normally, your friend from your groups will inform me directly if I actually mistaken or maybe forgot about your existence there. Okay. Don't worry there. Huh?
Right. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. So thank you very much, guys. Okay. So keep doing those works and have a nice day.